Welcome to St. Thomas Holy Tour. Our journey starts at St. Mary's Orthodox Syrian Christian Church in Thiruvidamkodu. It was one of the churches built by St. Thomas the Apostle of Jesus. This church in Thiruvidamkodu is the only standing church among all the churches that St. Thomas had built in India. Much importance is given to the wooden cross in all the Orthodox churches that was founded by St. Thomas. This is the entrance to the church. The interiors are almost similar to Hindu temples as they are built out of stones. Much importance is given to the ever-burning lamp in all Orthodox churches. Orthodox churches are more about using the space for worship and meditation. Much importance is given to baptism in all of the St. Thomas built churches, emphasizing the need for a rebirth. This is a cross that was engraved by St. Thomas in the church. This is the inner sanctum, which resembles the Jewish way of worship. It is said that St. Thomas brought such a picture when he came from Jerusalem to India. It should be noted that it was Mother Mary who sent all the apostles to the different parts of the world. This is a stone basin. The purpose of this is to use the water to wash the hands and feet before entering the temple. Father gave us the history of this church and he generously blessed us with a wooden cross. Our second stopover was at Our Lady of Purification Church, Kollam. It must be noted that all the disciples of Jesus had great respect and admiration for Mother Mary. Most of the apostles of Jesus' churches are named after Mother Mary. This is a Catholic church which holds the relics of Mother Teresa and St. Thomas. There is no evidence of the St. Thomas built church here, as the church has gone under the sea. There was a death anniversary service that was going on when we came here, and the people kindly invited us for lunch. We were so overly delighted by their hospitality. We truly felt blessed. Our third stop is at St. Mary's Orthodox Church, Niranam. This church was very interesting. It had a lot of things to explore. The church was a long drive, but then it was worth the visit. I wonder if you have noticed by now that the floors of Orthodox churches are always covered with carpets. I noticed that the Orthodox churches did not have any statues or idols. However, the churches had paintings. Much importance was given to the wooden cross in the Orthodox churches. To the right of the new church lies the old church. This is a reconstructed structure of the old church. It is said that Mother Mary appeared to 3 thieves when they tried to break into the church and steal a golden cross. Here is a stone that was once part of the old church. There is a museum inside the space. We can see many kinds of exhibits here. Most of the exhibits are probably the kind of things that were used in churches in olden days. The exhibits were really interesting. We can see old recorded pamphlets. This angel looks completely different. The features of this angel and the body looks completely different from the Western angels. These are some of the other exhibits that we can find in the church, vehicles that were used in olden days. This whole journey was quite interesting. The Niranam church was very meditative and very interesting to explore. Our fourth stopover is at St. Thomas Economical Church, Nilakal. What's special about this church is the wooden cross found in this church. It holds a special design and has been replicated in cement here. There is an exhibit of crosses here. We could not say for sure why these crosses were exhibited, but I am sure they hold some significance. The church is located next to the baptism site where St. Thomas is said to have baptized the believers. We are traveling through the forest to reach another St. Thomas Economical Church, which is located close to the original site of the St. Thomas Church. This church is called Economical Church for a reason. It is because all the denominations of Christian churches have approved this site to be a holy site. We were so fortunate to be helped by this local. He helped us reach this forest, without whose help it would have been very difficult to reach this place. We were told that elephants cross paths. The church closes by 6, so we decided to circumambulate the church. This is a view of the inner sanctum behind the screen. This is the image of the wooden cross. We bid farewell to this powerful place. Our fifth stopover was at St. Thomas Church, Kokkamangalam. We can see the Doubting Thomas statue here. This church belongs to the Catholic denomination. It has to be noted that St. Thomas built churches are being shared by different denominations of Christian churches. We were late and had to contend praying outside the church. We thank Jesus for His grace and hope for another bright day. The next day, we started our journey to the 6th church, St. Thomas Church in Kotakava. This church is run by the Syrian Marthoma Malabar Church. Kerala has a wide range of Christian denominations, and there is a long history to this. No matter what sect of Christianity, the object is one: to work for love and peace on earth through Christ. This church had an exhibit of the different miracles that was performed by St. Thomas. It was amazing that, being Catholics or Christians in India, we hardly knew about the life and miracles and works of St. Thomas. We were so glad we made this visit to Kerala and came to know about the great dedication of St. Thomas to the Indian people. This is the confession box. I do believe that confessions were a way of handling mental health and help people move on with their life. This is the meditation church that lies right behind the main church. There is a cross carved on a stone by St. Thomas that is kept in this church. This wall is the only last remains of the church that was built by St. Thomas. This is the place where St. Thomas is believed to have baptized believers. We can see that water plays an important role in almost all religion, and so was it with Christianity. Some candid moments. Our 7th stopover was at St. Thomas Church, Maliyankara. This was once a very famous port city. It is believed that St. Thomas landed in India from this port. This place hosted a large community of Jewish settlements and Syrian settlements. The church was unfortunately locked, so I would suggest visiting this place early in the morning for the first service. We, however, got a peek view of the church inside. There were some barricades. There is a museum before this church. We could come to this church only with the guidance of the local people. It is said that St. Thomas established his first cross in this port city. Our final stop was at St. Thomas Church, Palayur. There were depictions of the life of St. Thomas in the campus of the church. Jesus calls Thomas the Apostle. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus preaches to St. Thomas. Let us all go with Jesus so that we may be one with him. The doubting Thomas, my Lord and my God. St. Thomas checks on Jesus' bones. King Gudafar and his brother with Thomas the Apostle. Thomas the Apostle ordains Caffeine Kudangalur. Baptism of Palayur Thaliyakulam. Thomas the Apostle reveals the fatherhood of a child in Kollam. St. Thomas the Apostle pacifies an elephant in Paravur. St. Thomas the Apostle pacifies the tiger in Ellarapalli. St. Thomas the Apostle prays at the top of Malayattur Hills. The martyrdom of Thomas the Apostle at Mylapore. In the interiors of the church, you can find this granite cross. It stands on top of the cross that St. Thomas had founded. This is the best place to meditate.
Their Bible reading place.
Here too, we were helped by this kind man who works in this church. He helped us navigate around the church campus and showed us around the important places. The church houses relics of several saints here. We are on our way to the site where St. Thomas performed a great miracle with the water. It is a few minutes' walk away from the church. This is the place where St. Thomas performed a great miracle before the Brahmins, and many converted into believers after seeing the miracle he performed with the water. You can get details of the miracle on your visit to this church in Palayur. We started this pilgrimage journey right from home with a lot of prayer and worship. We continued our prayer and worship on our way, and we definitely felt blessed throughout our trip. வள்ளியூர்ல இருந்து வந்து சென்ட் தாமஸால பேப்டிசம் வாங்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ரெண்டு பேர் பேப்டிசம் வாங்க போறாங்க. This is a depiction of the miracle where the water stands in mid-air. We need to cross the church again to go to the place where St. Thomas arrived to this place via boat through the river. The river has dried right now, but they have made a cement boat replicating the whole journey. This was our last stop, and as we just sat here taking pictures, something miraculous and fabulous happened. It just pulled up our spirits, and you can see here a ray of clouds appeared in the sky, and it was just splendid. It was like saying that St. Thomas was with us throughout the journey, and I knew then that I would definitely be healed. And it is true that I was healed after the trip, and that is the reason I made this video, and I hope you also benefit from this journey. I fell in love with St. Thomas after this trip. I am glad Jesus sent St. Thomas to India for us. Thank you for watching.